Well, it wouldn't be a good week if we weren't talking a little bit about video games. And because, as you know, I'm a gamer. We love to do a gaming here on the Z-Man Show, and we're talking The Division 2. Now, they just released the beta, okay, the open beta. I think they were allowing people that pre-ordered to jump in and play this. Luckily, I have a good buddy, Mike Appel, who allowed us, my buddy Dustin and I, to join in, and he gave us both codes to join in. Besides having a little bit of an issue for first trying to get into the game, which I want to mention, PS4, I'm really getting pissed off at your search engine. Whenever you try to put in like a game and like beta behind it, which it should immediately pop up, they don't show it. They show you like the first top like 3 or 4 paid versions, and good luck, by the way, even then, if you can still find it. I had to end up going to some other site that actually finally got me to the download. So that aside, and then also, you gotta love Ubisoft and not giving us the code immediately. They're like, oh yeah, please sign up and then wait for this or that, whatever. I mean, we couldn't even get to it. Dustin and I, neither of us could. Mike was nice enough and finally to do some research, and he sent us a link that actually linked us to the code of where we needed to go to. But if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have had the code. We wouldn't have been able to even play the game. So after finally getting into the game itself, the mayhem just started. It was just like almost every other launch, just showing incompetence all over the place. So people weren't able to jump in. They were getting in queued sessions. They were getting kicked out of the game. And then after a couple hours, it seems things just started kind of flowing a little bit better. But yeah, people were getting dropped from the games. Guys, I'm just warning you right now. Division 2 it looks completely like a reskin Division 1, okay? I originally drank the Kool-Aid on Division 1. I was watching this thing in the development. First 2 or 3 years, I was just waiting for this game. I was like, oh my God, this game's gonna be so amazing. The graphics, what you're able to do. And you know, the game finally came out, and at first it was like, okay, it's okay. But as we kept getting deeper and deeper into it, there wasn't much substance there, right? I mean, you kept running into the same types of enemies, and after long, it was just kind of like running block after block of just snowy whatever, and then you know the buildings and the escapes, and you couldn't even go in you couldn't go in most of the buildings, and then the dark zone and all those issues and people cheating, and finally after about a year and a half of Division 1 getting out there, they finally got the game into a good state, which felt like, okay, Division 2, you've learned probably from your mistakes, and it's going to come out as a complete full, just ready to go game. Well, we jumped in all right, but I'll tell you, the fun we were having is the fun that we were making fun of the game itself. I mean, it was just left and right. I may turn on a little bit of the commentary here, or just at the very, very end, but I mean, it was ridiculous. It was a shit show. I mean, we were getting stuck on barriers, and you know, we just stuck in place. We couldn't run. The enemies, at first, I was kind of like, maybe they're not as bullet spongy as they used to be, as Division 1 was a lot, and that got really, really old, really fast. And I didn't think it'd be that big of an issue. I remember there was a buddy of mine on PlayStation. He was like, yeah, I'm not going to buy that game. I'm not into that bullet sponge stuff. And I was like, well, I don't really know what the big deal is. I mean, you're just shooting the enemies. It's almost just the same as Rainbow Siege or anything else. No, it's nothing like it. I mean, you're literally putting clip after clip of ammunition, magazine after magazine, not clips, of rifle information into these enemies. And what I'm talking about is like the purple and the yellows and the higher grade enemies. And yeah, it gets old. It gets old when you have to dump like 1,000 rounds of ammo into an enemy before he actually drops. I mean, the only fun of it really is if you have to coordinate and work out and try and find out their weaknesses and so forth. But really, they're not that much different than what they used to be. And I mean, true, the whole game has been re-landscaped in Washington, D.C. So that was kind of cool. And it's kind of neat seeing the Capitol in the background and the White House and ends up being one of your spawn stations and so forth, and as you start to branch out. But we played this for a solid 2, maybe even 3 hours. All of us, Mike Appel, Dustin, and myself, we all played, and we're the ones that usually try out these games. And I mean, even Appel, which I know you were heavy into Division, even you were like, this game blows. I mean, it's just no good. It is a reskin. So, you know, you guys, be careful with your money. Be careful with these pre-orders. I'm glad I did not pre-order this one. This is just as I feared. I feared that this was going to happen, that they were going to take the easy route, and now I just find out that I heard Ubisoft is going to be laying off some massive amounts of people starting tomorrow, or actually, I should say, within the next few hours. So that really stinks for them. I'm sorry to hear that. And, you know, I want to see these game developers do well and create great games for us so we can pay into them and keep everything alive and moving, because if we don't buy your games, then you're not making money. If you're not making money, then you're not making games. I mean, it's just that cyclical cycle. I mean, we're just trying. It's like we're trying to help each other out. We want to give you our money for a great product, but you're giving us crap products, and it's just a damn shame. But on another note, Anthem. I didn't get to do a review after the beta, but Anthem is looking up. I was very surprised. It was looking really good. I'm just worried about what EA is going to do to their whole pay system, you know, kind of like they did with Star Wars Battlefront 2. Are they going to make it start paying for, you know, extra weapons that do certain damage or this or that, like pay to win? I mean, anything could happen, and I really hope they don't go that route. Keep it cosmetic, keep it simple. And some of the ridiculous prices they were showing straight off the bat, like $20 for a color scheme for your Titan armor or whatever, which it doesn't matter because you can already customize the color schemes yourself. So it doesn't make much sense. So we're going to have to see where it goes. But like I said, Division 2, it's looking like a reskin of the original. Yeah, there were a couple cool things. I mean, it looks like you can control these drones now and kind of move them around a little bit better. That, you know, fire off on the enemies or create distractions and this and that. They have the seeker mines as always. We couldn't even use the pulse. I mean, in the beta, that was kind of goofy. We didn't even bother jumping back on to play the end game. Supposedly there was a mission towards the end. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't really need to see it. I've almost made up my mind, and I didn't want to be so negative, especially on these games, but that's what I feel like. Game after game, it's just negative review after negative review. It's ridiculous. So you'll have to make up your own minds for yourselves. If you had a chance to play the beta, if you did not, I'd highly suggest going out, watching some of this gameplay here, have in the background, and really give it a solid thought before you buy it. So anyways, this is the Z-Man Show reporting on Division 2 as a thumbs down, no stamp of approval. So again, we'll be looking more into Anthem as it comes out in the next few weeks. Division 2 is set to come out around mid-March. Also, hey, on a side note, if you want to check out a pretty cool free-to-play game, and EA snuck this one in there just randomly, Apex Legends. It's a Battle Royale style, and you still drop in if you're like, oh, I've already played the Battle Royales, I don't need another one. I'll tell you, you might want to check this one out. It looks great, it feels great, the shooting feels, I mean, it's a little quick, but most of the Battle Royales usually, that's how their style is. But there's a lot of cool features in this one you might want to check out. And the way you can ping locations and you can actually maneuver with your group if they're not on mic and so forth. I mean, it's spot on, and it's so much better than all the other ones that are out there. That zombie version that was out there on the PlayStation and PUBG and even Fortnite. I mean, I was just, and also like when you jump out, you know, you always have the problem of following your characters down to the battlefield. Now you can actually choose who your jump master is, and you can just let them guide you, and then you all land together, or you can break off and land wherever the hell you want to. Again, squads of 3, and a lot of cool weaponry and different skins and things you can unlock, and you don't really have to pay into the game if you don't want to. If you want to, go for it. Buy your skins, look jacked up, I don't know, whatever. But anyway, so that's kind of a fun one on a side note. So with that said, that is your gaming news for this week. All right, see you later, guys.